everyone. I'm Michelle Nettleton, and welcome to my studio. Today we are going to do the Hopewell coastline, and it is found in the Canadian East Coast. It's beautiful there. The tides come and go. Today we're going to use cut up credit cards to create the cliffs. So it's going to be interesting. Join us. In this painting, the things that are going to stand out are the sky here. Now, this sky has browns in it, believe it or not, and it gives this really nice feeling of softness in the clouds. And then these rocks here, we're going to use the credit card scraping technique to get these craggy areas, and then we'll use the masking tape to get a nice straight edge here, and then we'll try to get the water to look like it's in the distance, like falling back. We want visual perspective with this. Okay, and so another way of getting visual perspective is these rocks are close to us, so they're crisp. And as we go down further and further away, it gets more that blurry, faded, right? And that gives you your visual depth, okay? All right. So I've measured mine, so I've got 6 centimeters. Measured it. And putting my tape so that the water is covered. I'm pressing down nice and hard so that the colors don't bleed underneath the tape. All right, and then now we take the clear water and a large brush. So today I have this lovely cat tongue brush.
I don't have one of those.
And to put some clear water there. I can see.
But I don't want to go into the trees too much, right?
No. Stay away from the trees. Okay. And so it's shiny. I don't want it to be shiny. Okay, we're going to do the sky. So we're going to start off with cobalt blue, tea consistency, and we'll bring it across everywhere. And leaving some white. And I'm going to take a paper towel and make some clouds here.
Oh, wow, how did you do that so fast?
Just dab it up like I was dabbing up wet paint. And that's exactly what I was doing, dabbing up wet paint.
Looks so good.
Okay, and then I'll take a little bit of raw umber, like very little bit of raw umber, and just drop it in there, here and there. And I'm going to add some more of the cobalt blue at the top, because that is also going to give us visual perspective. If the sky is darker up here and then goes lighter towards the horizon, you are going to get that visual perspective. And also throwing in just a little bit of burnt sienna into the sky while it's wet. We will work on the rocks. So for the rocks, we're going to start off with burnt sienna and a very pale covering. So it's tea, and we're just going to quickly swish on.
We're wetting them first? Is that what?
Yeah, well, you can, because this is so light, this crisp. I'm not worried, too worried about it. Okay, so we have a very pale burnt sienna. We'll take sap green and cobalt blue. Okay, and we can wet the trees a bit.
Okay, so sorry, you said now.
Sap green and cobalt blue.
Okay.
And we'll start putting in our trees. And because it's so wet, it's going to move around on its own. And I'm going to do this.
Oh, that's a lot better.
This will make the paint drip towards the top of the painting. Okay, and then I want a little bit more atmosphere in the top of the tree, so I'm going to put more blue green in that part. And I'm going to put little bits coming. Now we're going to start to get the darker values in here. So these dark values here, 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 here. It'll be very loose and very soft. And after it dries, that's when we take the scrape this thing, and scrape the crags in. Take burnt sienna and raw umber. Okay, well, we have to wet our paper, so just wet where those dark parts are. Okay, while it's wet here, I'm going to take a little bit of black and just quickly drop in some black.
Yeah. Little puddles.
And also, I'm going to drop in some blues in this. raw umber out and go quickly across the sand.
Sienna and raw umber mix across the sand. Okay. Tea?
Tea, yeah,
Are we wetting it first?
you can. Now we're going to practice these crags. So we will take a piece of scrap paper, all right, and then we'll take our credit card that's been cut up, and then we put some paint on it,
Oh, on the card.
on the card like
What color is
that,
it? Where is it?
okay,
What color? Sorry.
whatever color you want because we're practicing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, and then I'm going to press it down like this. Watch what I'm doing.
Good.
Press it down and then pull it out.
There's another way of doing this.
It just occurred to me,
Okay.
that we could do it this way too. We could put paint down,
And then smooth it.
Oh, on the
okay,
That's what I did before.
and
yeah.
then drag it across.
Or
And I think I like this better. The rocks, you have to think about where the sun is. So basically the light is coming from this side and coming down. So our shadows are on the right-hand side. So our scraping will go towards the right. Okay. We'll take a bit of
Towards
raw umber
right. Oh.
and ultramarine blue. We mix them together and we'll choose an area where if we make a mistake, it won't show that much. Okay, and then pull it across. Load up your card, okay, and start making these lines like this.
Oh, that's a good credit card thing. Did you do? Oh, you're doing all kinds of stuff there. Okay.
Okay, so you take your dark color of raw umber and ultramarine blue, mix it together. You've got coffee consistency. You put it on the edge of your credit card, and then you make these little choppy lines. All right, so now I'm gonna have some of these lines coming down here, and I want these to jet out more, the ones on the right to jet out more than the ones on the left as you go further away. Okay, so the line is, if you see what I'm trying to get at here, okay? And then in this area here, I'm going to add some bluey green.
Perspective on that.
And then I need a shadow at the base of the rocks here. So that would be, I'll take burnt sienna and some ultramarine blue. That'll give me a dark brown. And then I will do this sort of work. It's wet on dry. And a little bit of burnt umber and do some dry brush work on there too. Our next feet. Now we're gonna take off the tape, and then you have a nice clean horizon. But I think I can go a little darker there, and I'll do that a little later on. I don't want to take any risks right now. If it's not dry enough, I will have some problems. So in the meantime, I will work on these trees here. So I'll take, now we're gonna work wet on dry. So I'm gonna go and have mixtures of ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, sap green, and I might even throw in some yellow in here.
So what are we?
All right, so to make my own green, a different shade of green, I'm using my cadmium yellow and ultramarine blue. And that's going to give me something a little different.
Oh, okay.
And I'll kind of bring up some,
And we're doing this on dry paper. Right?
yeah, on dry paper, and I want it to be all in different directions.
This brush.
A zero brush. Oh, and I'm trying to make it darker where the cliffs hit the trees. Okay.
Oh, at the bottom, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll put some
And try to get it craggy. So don't make straight lines. And bringing some of those up into. And then I'll take out my rigger and get some nice sap green and ultramarine blue mixed together, going more on the ultramarine blue side and putting in some fir trees up there. I just brushed in a little bit of darker green in the water,
Oh yeah.
so now it's set
Where?
back
Where did you put it?
right here.
Oh.
It was too, like, it looked exactly the same as the sky, the same value as the sky.
I like this guy.
Okay, and so, and my sky needs some value work. So if you look at this one up here, you've got some nice dark values, dark blues up there, and mine is they're all about the same, except for right up here. So I'm gonna get out some cobalt blue.
Don't look. Wow.
And a tad of burnt sienna, just a tad.
Brush to the head.
I'll make it a little darker. And then I'm going to go in some darker. Okay, so now I'm doing a little bit of wet on dry. So make sure, if you're going to do this, to make sure that your paper is dry so that you can pick up the texture of the paper while you're doing this. So I'm going to take my brush, I've got it flat, and I'm lightly pulling it over.
Oh, and what color is that?
Burnt umber.
Okay. That's what it looked like.
And getting a little more texture in my rocks. So I added in some burnt sienna in this area here and there.
Okay.
Okay.